Hello there, welcome to Making It Work. I'm Jimmy if you're new. We're going to spend a day in the shop selling people batteries. That's what I did all day yesterday if you saw that video. In fact, I did a great job too. We're going to do what we can to make it work. That might mean classic cars. Actually two of them, because I stack them up, you know, I got my classics stacked up. It might be 7 Series European exotics from the BMW manufacturer. Could even be monster trucks. Could be anything. Occasionally we get the Toyota Camry or the Nissan Sentra or the Kia Hyundai need an engine, things like that. I still got that Hyundai for sale, by the way. You might not know, but I've been a master mechanic for over 40 years. That's not really true. I've been a master mechanic almost 30 years. I've been a mechanic over 40 years. And I like to have a little bit of fun, try to learn a thing or two. A lot of times you guys teach me stuff in the comments. I definitely don't know everything. I hardly know anything, actually. I really appreciate the support. Things have been going good. We're approaching 18,000 subscribers. I'm going to do a live feed when we get to 20,000. Just so you guys know, if you share it around, that might help. We'll put some clips in right here. What's going to happen in today's video, other than me running my mouth. It's pretty bad, huh? XC60. Hyundai Genesis. If it don't dodge, ram it. Kia Soul. And you can see we got a beautiful sunrise. It's about 52 degrees this morning. I got my jacket back on. Summer's coming though, so these cool mornings are gonna go away. But we'll see, we're gonna enjoy it while we can. We're gonna enjoy it even when it gets hot out. How about that? You always make the best of every day, even if you're a little bit down and out and things seem to be hard. Someone else has it harder, so keep rowing. Let's get in the shop, finish getting this place open up, and see what we can do. We're definitely going to have some fun, I know that much. Stay tuned. I got my jegs stuff, my cam and all, and my braking oils and stuff. But I'm having second thoughts. I got a Comp Cam's 274H flat tappet cam, but everyone's having horror stories all over the interwebs. I might go to a roller. I just don't want to spend the money. The problem is, how much money do you spend if I do all this work, put a flat tappet cam in it, and it goes bad again? I've seen videos saying it's because of the zinc. I've seen videos saying the lifters aren't machined properly. One guy even made up some stuff that they never manufacture new lifters anymore. They're all rebuilds, which is nonsense. Lifters are not expensive to manufacture, but they are a little bit complicated and they have to be precise, and if they're being made quickly and inexpensively overseas, that's probably why they're failing. I would assume they're not machined correctly, especially if you're putting zinc additive in and all that stuff. In any event, I'm kind of I don't want to do this. I don't want to take this engine apart again in a couple of months. So you guys tell me in the comments whether you think I should definitely go with a mild roller cam or run the flat tappet and not worry so much about it. Jigs. I like their commercial. They give you like a newspaper when you get stuff in the mail. Oh, they want you to buy toolboxes too. Look at that, man. Jigs. I was wondering why in their commercials they got Jigs toolboxes. I guess they're marketing their own US General toolboxes. I'm doing this battery real quick first. I don't know if I missed something here. I could not get these terminals off. I think this design just dug into the post. Look at that. It's pretty bad, huh? Both of them are like that. AAA wouldn't put a battery in it because they said there was too much corrosion, but I just whacked it on the fender and hit it with my little pry bar action. I'm going to clean that up with a wire brush, pop this battery in. I got to take this 8. We can get a battery in this car and see what's next. I think I got a Volvo heater hose. That'll turn things around. I got to do 21 hours today to hit my mark. Hope there's not too much glare, but we'll see. I'll find out in editing Saturday. Watch your fingers. There used to be a little catch on here that would hold these in place, and you lift them out together, but it rotted away. So, clean this up a little bit. Flashing was pretty good. It had corrosion covering it, but it hadn't rotted the terminal away yet. The car's too new, I suppose. problem. What is this stupid plastic thing for? You guys know? I gotta get my 10mm. They come up with cool ideas. Corporate nonsense is expensive in the long run, and always looks good on paper though, huh? That's the beauty of riding a desk, is you have no idea what's really going on, but you think you're the smartest person in the room. Same thing on this one. I think this is just to position where the terminal faces. I don't think it really does anything other than that. I'm going to clean off some of this mess when I back the car out. And we'll get that Volvo in here. This should be good to go. Alright, we got this cool hose. Supposedly it's a quick and easy heater hose. The customer had this all off. I just put it on so I could drive the car into the shop. But I think the damage is done as far as check engine light coming on for driving it without this on. They literally drove it up here without this on. I took it off the passenger seat. Alright, see if we can find this thing. I want to say it goes back here somewhere. Yeah, I think it's leaking right there. It's quick and easy, right? This is a 2016 XC60 T5. There's like 10 different versions of the XC60. They also have a 4-cylinder or a 5-cylinder turbo. Someone else looked at it. The heater hose is definitely leaking from that plastic T. I think the customer was going to try to do it themselves and saw how much work it was. Jimmy will do it for 0.6 instead. That's way better. It looks like it goes right back here, but getting to it is it's gonna be an interesting part. Maybe if I disconnect this end, I can get my hand in there to get the other end, which I think is a wire clip according to the new one. I gotta pull this wire clip off, and this one you squeeze the purple end. So that's under there somewheres. Should be easy, right? It's 0.6, about a half an hour, gives you 30 minutes. That includes filling the cooling system, bleeding it, making sure there's no air in it, and road testing it. And I got a feeling I'm gonna be at 35 hours this week. But we're gonna try. Don't worry, don't get discouraged yet. When you squeeze this to pull it off, it breaks off before it comes out, just so you know. As you can see, the heater hose connections are about, that's roughly 3 or 4 inches underneath this vacuum pump dealio, and it's got 2 tabs you have to squeeze. Looking at this, so I can't get to the backside. My idea is to do this. I guess I could just snap it off of there and pull the plastic pieces out, right? I'm gonna try gently first, and I don't want to break this connector. I need 3 hands. That's going to be a problem. I'm probably going to end up having to break it. I don't want to do that, but it's already broken. So we'll do what we got to do in this world. They don't leave you much choice. Like I always say, you wanted this. All you do is you get a chisel and you hammer it open, and it comes right off because it's breaking apart anyway, right? 0.6. All right, as much as I want you to go in there and hang out with me, there's just not a lot of room. This is the right hose because I reached down from the broken part and turned it. Oh, you know what? That clip's not even going to come off because it's going to hit the lower hose below it. See what they did back there? You turkeys. Get this wiring harness out of the way. I can see a little better. Phone's ringing. Something's happening right here. I don't know if this is what I need. Told you it was easy. Crybaby. I got the metal retainer clip out, but the hose still doesn't want to come off. So I don't know what I might break prying on this. I don't know what's behind there. If that's the actual heater core or another hose or what. I sprayed some penetrant oil on it to help ease it up, but didn't seem to help. I'm gonna keep messing with it. Got it. Gotta pry from the right angle, that's all. Let's see. Oh, it's wrapped around something behind there too? That's cool. Come on, man. Get out of there. wrapped around like a fuel line or something. Shifter cable, okay. Oh my goodness, man. Alright, I gotta figure out how that thing's wrapped around there. It's a nest. I figured it out. That one I disconnected was the wrong one. That was the easy one to get to. I gotta save the clip because I dropped it off the other hose that I thought I was changing. Just gotta go back on that one. Because I don't want, that way I don't have to look for it on the transmission or suspension or whatever it might have went. Don't lose it. Cover me. I'm going in. Click. That's the sound of victory. And it's a tight squeeze. There's like 2 brackets it sits in. Oh, get back over here. But before I even worry about those, I need to get it on here. The brackets actually stop you from putting it on, which is cool. So you got to put it past them, get it on the nipple, click it, or tick it. My goodness gracious. I don't care what the labor guide says anymore. I don't design this junk, and I'm going to get compensated for it. They can kiss my ass, basically. Sorry. The stupidity is not my problem. I didn't buy this car, I didn't design it, and I didn't break it. I'm just contending with their junk. 0.6. When I come up with that labor guide, come talk to me in person. We gotta have words. Gotta click all my silly accessories back, put all my clips back in place. You can imagine what the Volvo techs have to do this under warranty for 0.2 or 0.3 or something. I'm sure they would do it perfectly as well and take their time. It's all about lowering cost of ownership. You just steal the money from the mechanic and complain when he doesn't have a high productivity. I hope you can't tell, that wasn't fun. But don't worry, still plenty of time left to turn this day around. A little bit of coolant. We'll run it like we normally do. Make sure we get hot air off the heater core and off the radiator. See what's next. I think I got an AC check next. Alright, let's fire this thing up. Look at that gem. Don't be jealous. A little bit of faded paint. That's no big deal. Hyundai Genesis. Some people insist it's not a Hyundai, but it is. But they are nice cars. I'm not going to say it's not a nice car. They're making it to compete with Mercedes and BMW. And this one is a 2018. Man, she's had a rough life. Smoker's car. That's why it smells so nice in here. We're gonna go with a 3. And I'm gonna go get the phone. 48,396 miles. I would have guessed 200, but poor thing. All right, it's got refrigerant low probably. It's not blowing cold. We're gonna put the 1234 YF on there and see what kind of pressures we got. I looked around a little real quick with my daylight and my glasses, and everything looks yellow, so it's a little silly. Pressures look low, stagnant, but I'm gonna start it up, see what they are running, and then we'll have to look from underneath. It's a little low. It's not crazy low. I wonder if it's cold at all. Rob pulled it in for me and started looking at it, so I'm kind of, oh yeah, it's definitely not cold. Kind of strange. I wonder if it's got an actuator problem. It's blowing max, trying to get it cold, but it ain't working. I'm gonna add some refrigerant. This stuff's very expensive. It's like $18 or $20 an ounce now or something like that. By the ounce they sell it. Oh yeah, it's definitely coming down now. It's low on Freon. Never mind. I was gonna put Freon in and see if it got colder. The longer it runs, the lower the pressure gets. So I'm gonna get the hoses off this thing. We're gonna look a little harder for a leak from underneath maybe. I can't see anything definite from the top. If you can't see anything leaking, it's probably the evaporator, which I'm sure is a blast on these. You can't find dye anywhere on this Genesis, so it's either going to be an evaporator leaking or we may need to do a recharge with more dye. We'll see what they want to do. I told them we could take the blower motor out and get all crazy up in there and visually try to see dye in the evaporator core, but that's more labor too, just like putting more refrigerant. So it all depends on when it was serviced last, what we're going to do with this one. I think they're talking to them right now, so we'll see what happens. Put a little dye in there using this graded gun where you twist the knob until it goes in the amount of dye you want. I just put a ½ ounce of dye in the high side, and now we're going to put some refrigerant in. He's going to see how long it goes. He said he's never had it serviced before, and the car is 6 years old, so we're going to do that, see how long it goes. It might be years before he comes back. It might be next week. We'll see. I also let him know that it's probably the evaporator, so I can't find dye anywhere. And of course, the drain tube's like over the transmission. So we're going to go ahead and knock this out and then see if there's something productive we can do. Maybe we'll fix something. All right, still waiting this thing to finish up. I had to tell it that I tested the evap for leaks and that it didn't have an auxiliary. 3 hours and 15 minutes so far. Battery, heater hose, and an evac. We'll be all right. We'll take our 35-hour week and we'll be happy. Okay, I want you to disconnect the high side service hose. Leave the low side connected. Start the car up with the AC on max. Well, I can definitely say that's way colder, so that's good. Let's finalize this thing, get the machine off of there. See if there's something else we can do. If it don't Dodge, ram it. Especially if it's got a coolant leak. 2018 Dodge Ram with 94,000 miles. Looks to have the 3.6 liter V6. It's some kind of work truck because it's not seeing a lot of love. I mean, I guess it's 6 years old. What do you expect? They got 2 car seats in the back. It's gonna get 3, and I'm a little bit sad, but it is what it is. You gotta do, you gotta work, you gotta get things done, he's making it work too, or she. Let's try to see where it's leaking. Oh, look at that radiator. That was easy. See the crack? It's cracked all down here, and it's wet right above it, so radiator's definitely leaking. Customer put stop leak in it already, which, don't put stop leak in your cooling systems, folks. It makes a mess, and it can stop your heater core from working. I've never seen it fix anything permanently. Maybe temporarily it'll slow the leak down or stop it, but a couple more heat cycles and it comes right back, and all you did was spend 10 or 12 bucks on stop leak, which is basically what they want. Oh my goodness gracious. Alright, so radiator, thermostat, and a really good flush, and we'll see what happens with this one. Alright, we got another one to look at. I think this is a 2016 Kia Soul. 109,275 miles. I'm gonna give it a love rating of 4. Let me know what you think. Maybe I should have given it a 5, but there's no food. A lot of clutter. I'm going 4. Check engine light's on. Apparently someone keeps tuning it up and putting coils in it, but it still keeps misfiring and the check engine light keeps coming back on. Now it's my ticket. Not really feeling too jolly today so far, but I'm gonna try to keep a happy face on. I don't want to bring anybody down, including this guy behind the camera, especially you. Let's get the scanner, see why the pesky job security light's on, see what direction we go. I'm gonna pop the hood on the way to get the scanner too. We'll take a quick look, see what's going on under there. All right. Listen here, Phoenix Light. Let's get you two chit-chatting. I need you guys to get along. Come on, 7. I need to turn my luck around, get this 30-hour week humming. Hey, you know what? It's not important how much I make. It's important how much everyone else makes. That's the real goal. 16 pin, automatically search. Okay. US area. Okay. 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 Smart scan. Let's do this. 3 codes. My goodness gracious. That is a lot of codes. 109,275 miles. Hey, the engine's still running. That's good. I like that. airbag codes. Woo! Alright, we're gonna let these two talk and we'll discuss further. Aha! We got an evap code, incorrect purge flow. We got random misfires. We got cylinder 1 misfires. Battery voltage codes in the airbag and the pods. I hate when my pods have low voltage. That's the worst. It looked like there was a coil on cylinder 4, but I'm not sure. Maybe it does just have a bad coil on cylinder 1. I don't know. You know what we'll do? We'll take the spark plug out of cylinder 1 and have a quick look. But even before that, I already sent the report, so I can clear the codes if I want. But I'm going to go into data stream, see if we can see any misfires at the moment while it's in the shop here. And it should be individual misfires I have to pick. Cylinder 1, 2, 3, 4, knock retard. Nope. Nope. Fuel ignition output voltage, phasers, sync, injector time. Knock, lambda, misfire. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now everything is going to stay out of sight as long as it doesn't misfire. And the best way, if it's ignition related, is to put a load on the system. We'll step on the brake, put it in gear, step on the gas. Not misfiring right now. Oh, isn't that interesting? That is why they're having a hard time figuring it out. Let's turn off the engine, turn off the scanner, head under the hood, and at least take a look at number 1 spark plug and coil, and maybe there's something visibly wrong and it just doesn't happen all the time. I've done injectors in a bunch of these. Let's take a look. Alright, that doesn't necessarily mean that's why it's setting a misfire code, but yet it's alarming. Let's get a 10mm, pop it out of there. This is already out of the valve cover, so you don't have to worry about that. Well, that is no good. Why is it doing that? Oh, look at that. Look at that poor little spark plug. Looks like it's getting water intrusion. Let's blow that area out with some shop air and pull a plug out. Something wrong. I don't want any trash to go down the wrong way. Got a snap-on spark plug socket. We got a Pittsburgh tension and a gear wrench ratchet, man. We spread the love all over the place up in here. Let's see.
Just in time. I was really shocked that that other one was fast. I thought that one was just off the shelf there.
Yeah, a lot depends on how busy we are. Now that it's getting hot again, we don't wear gloves.
That's interesting. I wonder if they were. I wonder if it's been changed or not. It's rusty as heck. I wonder if someone pressure washed something or what the deal is, but it's very strange. I'm going to recommend a spark plug and a coil. And then I'm going to mention the water intrusion part of it, and we'll see if there's any notes about it. Maybe it's been noted before. But it's got green like mold on here and rust. I mean, it's I've never seen anything like it. Some of the Fords where when the heater hose leaks down on cylinder 4, which is the last cylinder in the right bank if you're familiar with Ford V8s, but I've seen this on that. But this isn't even under the firewall really at all. Kind of strange. We got us a spark plug. We got us a curl. I'm going to put some dielectric on in there, and I'm going to put a little on the outside too, just till we figure out what's going on with this thing. I'm thinking the head gasket might be slowly leaching into the spark plug chamber, but it stayed dry the whole time it sat here. So it also looks like maybe that plug was never changed and the rust was never cleaned out of there. I don't know. I'm gonna get my little wire brush real quick, I think too, after I put the spark plug in. I'm gonna run this around in there a little bit, the narrow one, just clean it up a little. So I know if it comes back, there's definitely something reoccurring in there. It's a Champion plug. The others are NGK, but that's alright. We'll rock it, see what happens. It is. Tighten this up. Now I gotta gently clean this area without hurting that little spark plug porcelain and all that. Definitely don't want that. I'm not sure how far this will reach, but real gently try to get it looking a little better. Hope I didn't get that in your eyes too much. A little bit of this. Hopefully it doesn't add to the problems. And the connector is broken, so I'm gonna have to tie wrap it back in place. That part's out of my hands a little bit. See, and that expanded the boot a little bit too. A little bit of the good stuff. A lot of people don't like it, but it's what you do if you can't get the connector. And I use gray so you can see it intentionally. I'm gonna let that set up. I'm gonna start on the radiator on the Dodge Ram from earlier. Shouldn't be nothing but a thing. There's a radiator right there. Got a thermostat, got a new cap. I think we're gonna do a diff service and an oil change too. So let's see if we can at least get some of this done this week. We only got a few hours left in the day, but we'll do what we gotta do. We'll get done what we get done, that's all. Gotta start somewhere, like flapping the gums isn't doing it. I gotta grab a tool to pull all these little push pins out down here, and then a squeeze clamp tool for the radiator hoses. 13, and it's probably a 13 in here. Yep. Let me grab some tools, we'll get started. Alright, I gathered some tools. Hopefully this is gonna be what I need. My extended reach spring clamp pliers, my shorter spring clamp pliers, pin puller, needle nose for things like this, and a 13 with a ratchet. So there might be some cooler lines. Some of these, the cooler is attached to the condenser and you don't have to mess with it to do the radiator, which I think that's how this might be, which would be sweet. Electrical connector. Phone's ringing. All right, let me go get that. Oh, there it goes again. Come on now. There it is. One more. Oh, see? That's why I should stop thinking. Ah, we didn't want to see that. All I can do is my best, man. That one came off. I don't know what the difference was. 2 hose clamps, 1 electrical connector. Oh, that wasn't clipped on. I missed that. It wasn't even connected. I have to worry about it. Just getting this out of my way so I got more room in here to get the shroud and stuff out. Hopefully it's not going to fall on my head. We'll see. I'll take your challenge. Now we got tons of room. I can get to the thermostat to do that. I'm probably gonna do the radiator first, and then we'll do that afterwards. Fan shroud will have vacated the premises. Wasn't as tight as I expected. Keep these together, even though one goes on one side, one goes on the other. That's all right. Now the bottom should just clip in. That's all it holds, is 2 bolts. Find out soon enough. I don't have to be too gentle because we're changing the radiator. Oh, you know what? I bet you these turkeys have stuff connected to it underneath or something. I don't feel anything. Oh, just gotta Oh yeah, there's plastic clips. Okay, I remember now. There's a couple of plastic push pins hold the little underbelly cover. That was fun. This lift isn't the best, so I don't want to lift it up too high. It catches the frame rails by about 1.5 inches. I'm like, nah, I'll just lift it a little bit, just enough to get under it with the creeper. Now, I should come out of there. Don't get too enthusiastic about it. Start bragging and stuff. Alright, I'll pull that out of the way first, that's fine. That's fine. Now what? What's your next complaint, sucker? Oh, look how much room we got to work now. It's like 2 feet back to the engine. Crazy. Alright. Come on, little radiator hose. There you go. Hopefully most of it goes in the pan. We'll see what happens. Oh, the old second and third finger grab. Don't brag too much yet. We're not done. Got one more to get the condenser. It's 2 bolts on this side, on the passenger side, and the other side slides out. Alright. Wouldn't be any fun without a gravity check. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is, right there. Oh my goodness gracious. Can I save it? From a full gravity check? Floor bound? Oh, careful, getting sloppy. Oh. Come on, give me something challenging, man. I shouldn't say that, I'm not done yet. What else is holding it? Oh, there's another one on the side. Silly. You think 1 bolt was gonna get it done? Come on. You gotta have 2. This is for the other cooler. Attached to the same thing. But bolted independently. There it is. Now this is supposed to slide out of the radiator. Listen here. I don't want any trouble, but I'll bring trouble if you want. What could it be? I don't see anything. A lot going on, and there's something else holding it. I've got the 2 bracket bolts out that go in here, and I got the 2 line holder bolts over the boulder holders. I think it's just kind of hung up. There's nothing really holding it. I think it's just happy where it's at. It doesn't want to go. It's going to give me a little resistance, but we'll get it. Okay, unbolted the top condenser bracket on the left and right, just so that there's only that one holding it down there, and one up on the top over here. See the 2 10s holding it in. Now I'm able to slide it out of the radiator a little easier. I don't know why it fought so hard, but it was a valiant fight, but I win. Don't forget your cushions and bumpers. Alrighty. Everything is transferred over. The radiator came with new upper bushings, which is sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. These are going to be wanting to fall and not go where I want them. It's all part of the fun. Now if you just grabbed your part, put it in, shut the hood and backed it out, it wouldn't be any fun. Nobody wants that. You want to enjoy the process. There you go, bottom. The inserts are in for the bolts already, so we're good with those. And get this bracket in place. Uh-oh, don't fall yet. Try to get things to stabilize a little bit. There's a lot going on. You got to kind of slide this in place and then lift this into the mounts. Kind of all at the same time. It's like 3 people have to do it, but Never stopped me before. I don't even know what the labor time is on this. Judging by what I've seen so far, probably a couple hours, 2.5 maybe. Not sure. But whatever it is what it is. Sometimes I don't like to know until after I'm done. It's harder to work with a chip. These two long bolts. Oh, oh, oh! What the heck? I threw my little GoPro light. This thing actually helps a lot. You have to put it back on. Tell me if you see a difference. There you go. Studio magic. Behind the scenes stuff. These go in here. I think that doesn't go there. I think that goes here. I knew I remembered it somewhere over here. Let's do this. I'm not forcing around. I'm gonna get this thing done today. I'm gonna start it by hand. It won't go. Maybe the captured nut isn't on the other side like it's supposed to be. Yeah, captured nut must have fell out. Oh, I see what's happening. Cheap radiator came apart. That's why it won't thread in, because the nut's going crooked. Because the flimsy little radiator doesn't like when I pushed on it a tiny bit. Let's see if we can balance everything. Get our nuts lined up and our bolts lined up and get things tightened up and nothing will fall off going down the road. You know what this thing needs? Loctite. That is just about the condenser done. 2 of these. I think we're about to ready to push this and get our mounts. Yeah, those are the long bolts, right? You remember? The long ones, the short ones go in the fan, I think. What do you think? For the AC, I unplugged it just so less likely to break anything when I was tugging and pulling on stuff. Now it's nice on a job like this thermostat. You see it back there? I can kind of get a really good idea where the bolts are holding this thermostat where it goes. So I know the bolts are almost straight up and down, but not quite. You can't see the one behind the wiring harness at all. So with the proper assortment of power tools and extensions and sockets, you can get it. The bigger problem is, the thing's like 4 feet away because of the little V6 in a big truck. But the T-Rex arms, coupled with some extensions, we're fine. I think it's up here.
I didn't check the AC or
And the air bleed is under the wiring harness that I cannot move for nothing. I mean, it's in there.
Brakes look okay.
Awesome over there at the Chrysler plant. Bill and Bob have been at work again. The truck's actually pretty easy to work on, but you know, it could be easier. That's all I'm saying. That's right. You're off, aren't you? Now I'm going to jam my tool in here in between this bracket and it. I don't know how you'd ever use the air bleed. It's basically worthless. So they're like, hey, Bill. Yeah, what, Bob? It doesn't look like they're going to be able to get to the air bleed. Is that our problem? Nah, let's go golf. Yeah, the boss said it was going to cost 60 cents more if we moved it. You can't just be throwing money away. Oh, okay. Well, how much more are they going to charge our customer when they work on it? Oh, we'll just put 0.2 in the labor guide. What's the big deal? Oh, I wish I was joking. There's a gasket in there. Is there one in there? Oh! Winner? Winner. Chicken dinner. Now I gotta hold it in place and get a bolt start. I'm on my knees on the bumper. And good stuff. If I can snug the bottom one up, I don't have to hold the housing at least while I start the upper bolt. Just hold it in place. See what we can do for this one. Ooh. little step stool sliding. All right. I set some rags on the radiator so I can lean on it without cutting my arms and stuff on the metal's a little sharp, especially if you put my weight on it. Some of you lightweights, it's no big deal. What's next? I say we put the fan in, but I can do this hose. It's easier to get to the clamp, get the fan out. Oh. One extendable hose clamp squeezer. I love this tool. I've mentioned that before. You guys have been watching a while. You know me and this clamp tool, we get along. And that thing was right on the edge of the hose. I can't match that. The thing was right on the edge from the factory. That's crazy. The end of the plastic thing is here. All right, deal with it. You gotta go into these two little carrier slots at the bottom. There it goes. Now my bolts is lined up. One of those. One of those. There's the thing. Seems a little long, but that's why they don't use Loctite. Plenty of threads, you don't need it. Be sealed, please. Let's get some of this air inlet stuff back on. Gotta flip this over. I'm even gonna hook up his breather. See how oily and nasty the breather looks? Because it wasn't connected, it wasn't breathering. A lot of these come in broken because people don't want to, they don't know there's a clamp underneath there. So, the ambient air temp sensor, and there is a little eyelet. There you go. I can see why people don't get these on correctly. Well, let's try it with some penetrating oil on there this time. Still not on all the way. It's crazy. Jeez Louise, man. Now I'm gonna put the breather hose on. Oh, that's nice. Don't forget to tighten your clamp. It's like 15 minutes to get the air box on. Alright. What else we gotta do today? Get some coolant in here, catch our breath a little bit. I'm gonna find a drive-on rack. We've got to do a diff service, oil change. I got to put the clips on from the bottom. I got to move it to a drive-on rack anyway, so I'll do that once I move it over. So let's get a little coolant in it. We can relocate it and come back. All right. Oil change prep. Up in the air. We're out in the beautiful weather. It's like 77 degrees. We got some nice music going by, random tracks at the owner's discretion. They put their windows down for you in this town so you can enjoy it too. It's very considerate. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing in the air, service the differential, and drain that oil. Sticker says it's 400 miles overdue. We need a 14 millimeter, I think. Is it 15 or 14? What do you think? Maybe it's a 13. I don't know. Oh, I gotta love them double-sided wrenches. You're almost guaranteed to have the right size with you if you bring all of them. I mean, enough of them. Don't splash me in the face, will you? Let's put up the shield. You always want to do the filter first on a vehicle with the canister filter. If it's mounted up top, you gotta release it so that oil can drain into the crankcase from the filter housing. Some of you guys might have been watching a while and know that, but just in case for my new viewers, we got lots of new viewers lately. I'm gonna go around, check the tires, and I'm gonna get oil in it before we do the differential service. I'm gonna get sidetracked. Squirrel. 6 quarts of dino blood. It's gonna be messy. Be prepared. Oh, look at that. Told you we wouldn't spill a drop. It's not over yet, bragger. I contacted Jegs about sending my flat tappet cam back. They said, yeah, no problem. Up to 60 days. You have to pay return shipping, but we'll take it back and you'll order something else. So I'm gonna go to a roller, I think. I really don't want to spend the money, but even more, I don't want to be pulling the motor out of the truck again. I might have said that already. It's really on my mind. It's weighing heavily. I want to enjoy the truck, not work on it in perpetuity. It's one thing to tinker once in a while. It's another thing to be constantly trying to get it running. That's done. We'll do the differential service. I'm going to top off the washer fluid and some other fluids. Tires are all good. They're actually slightly overinflated. Oh, that's came right out. The rubber's not hardened yet. Sometimes they turn to plastic. Up north, sometimes these things pop out of there on their own. You don't have to worry about it. Someone was just telling me that they actually thread these and put a metal plug in them or change the cover or something like that. I'm going to use my little siphoning tool rather than opening up the differential. Some people may question its capability, but it's empty. And we're going to put this in, and we know about how far down to the bottom, right? Use the center chunk that's inside there to hold the hose down. I've got it around here somewhere, maybe here. And we'll let it run till it doesn't get any more fluid. And that'll take 95, 98% of the fluid out of there. And you're not disturbing the cover because the cover is completely dry. If the cover was wet and leaking, then I would pop the cover off, reseal it with RTV, and everybody would win. You know what RTV stands for? Put it in the comments if you know. That's about it. About 2.5 quarts or so. And I got just about 3 quarts in here. Now I just want to fill it. Now some people fill them till it comes pouring out of there. You're really not supposed to. It's supposed to come just below the plug. So I'll use like a pocket screwdriver or something. If I overfill it, you can pull a tiny bit back out. It's not the end of the world, but what might happen is you'll see a little seepage from the plug if you fill it a little too much, but no big deal. The fluid expands also when it gets hot, so that's why. That plug is at just about the height of the inside of this tube. So down here, all I gotta do is make sure this is facing the right direction, which I think it should be on fill from last time I used it. And you can see the oil coming up the tube. I'm just gonna go real slow because this fluid's pretty heavy. So if you force it, you'll see it start leaking around here and stuff. So I just give it a few pumps. It gets pretty stiff, and I'll just wait a minute. Then I'll hit it a couple more times. Got to be a little patient, but if anyone's ever filled these differentials squeezing the bottles, I much prefer this and hanging out a second, letting it do its thing. And once that's done, fire this thing up, double check the oil level. I got to let it run, make sure that all the air is out. I couldn't get to that air bleed without a major amount of dancing. And I'm pretty tired, I don't want to dance. So. Alright, I overfilled a little bit. So we're going to go the other way. This will pull fluid back out too, luckily. Oh, you can just let it drip all over the place. Oh, that'll do it too. Believe it or not, it's pulling fluid back out really slow. Yeah, that's right, you heard me. It's enough out of you. Now I gotta check your level. Oh, that's nice. I'm gonna take it, clean up our work area. I'm tired. You guys tired? I'm tired. I did turn the week around a little bit today, believe it or not. A couple people picked up cars that didn't think they were gonna. And this was a pretty good ticket. I had a couple of good tickets late yesterday that didn't show up. When I looked at my hours this morning, they weren't on there yet. So we're gonna end up about 45 hours or so, which is okay. Nothing to brag about. I think I'm about to have a meeting about how I need to make more money and how they plan on helping me do it. Oh yeah. All right. No options except auto lock. So you can get locked out. I'll let this thing run a little bit. Customer got here hoping it was done, and it's gonna be done soon though. Nothing goes wrong, they'll be ready to go, hopefully 20-30 minutes. I cleared the codes in the Kia. It seems to run good. That one's ready to go, the little blue car. So I think they're gonna get that too. That's warranty, but they'll pay me for it. The customer won't pay anything. At least I don't think. We were trying to get to the bottom of that rust. We'll see if that rust comes back after I cleaned it all out. If it does, there's something going on with the cylinder head, I'm guessing. The coolant is over full on that Kia, by the way. So we'll see. Let me warm this thing up. I'm gonna have to get in there, maybe give it a little goose so that it warms up faster as the customer's waiting, and I don't want it to take too long. We're coming up on the end of the day. Reset that oil change reminder using these buttons here. Tells you right there, up and down and stuff. You can look at your coolant, all that cool stuff. So just about done with this one. Let the customer keep his coolant. I used ours. I think next week I might be doing that classic Ranger. Customer came in saying, I want my front end rebuilt. You got a rear main seal leaking. I want you to do the torque converter pump seal while you're in there. Customer requested work. But sadly, usually I end up finding a lot more things that they missed. Sometimes I'm wondering why things were being done that didn't need it. It all depends. If they go to a tire store, those big corporate stores, they like to just get you for what they can, expecting to never see you again. It's not like an independent shop like this one, where we want to fix your car, make our money, and send you out down the road feeling good about it. The big corporate stores, they like to put it to you, get what they can out of you. If they see you again, good. If not, they'll just get the next one too. The next person. It's pretty bad, but that's the reality of it. That's why I can't stand working at those big corporate stores. 228 degrees. Let's see if the fan's turning on any second. It's right around when I would think the fan would come on. Oh, there it is. Let's see what we feel for air. Oh, cool air. That means we got an air pocket, which I suspected. It'll pick up speed. Still blowing cool. It's gonna get angry soon, and I'll shut it off. There it goes. It's getting mad. It's going, hey, we're overheating. What's up? We'll let it go up a couple more degrees, and I'll shut it off. That's good. I'll let it sit a few minutes till it's safe to pull the cap off of there, and hopefully that will burp it. Worst case scenario, I'm gonna have to get to that air bleed under there, which, I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't know what their deal is, but they could have moved it over to this side or something. Don't worry, we'll figure it out, man. Nothing's hot. Only the engine. So there's a big air pocket in there. Worst case scenario, maybe I can get to a heater hose. I'll loosen the clamp and put my hose removal tool under it somewhere. There's always a way to do it. First, we'll try letting it sit a minute, take the cap off, and seeing if we can add some coolant. Let's see if I can do with my thin gasket scraper. Loosen the air bleed. Got to find some way to get this air out of here, and I don't see a better spot. Hey, whatever you're into, man. I'm just not into it. I got it to turn. Oh, dodge, dodge, dodge. You've fallen so far since the 70s. Now, of course, when the air comes out, it drips coolant all over the radiator, all over the belts and stuff. So that's always cool. Oh, here it comes. I got a little water coming out of here now, or coolant. See? It actually goes over the belt. It looks like genius. I just expected it to run right on the belt. I think I've got it tight. I don't know. What? All right. Let's give her another go. All right, we're getting close to fan engagement time again. Hopefully, we get some hot air off of there. If not, we'll have to repeat the process. Normally on these, though, they're pretty forgiving. Once you get water out of that air bleed, you get hot air off of the fan. Patiently waiting?
Yeah, patiently waiting. He's fine. The Kia with the spark plug?
That's done. I cleared the code before.
Okay, do you want to keep it for the weekend for any reason, or can I call her until it's
Yeah, you can take it. Just we got to look and see if it happens again. There's rust in there again. It's probably comes from the cylinder head.
Okay, cool.
So,
All right.
all right.
Sounds good, thank you.
All right. Uh-oh. I don't feel hot air. That's terrible news. Let's give her a goose and see what happens. We'll circulate the coolant one way or another. Yeah, still not hot. Huh. Yeah, 240 is about as high as I want to go. Yeah. So I'm guessing the air bleed's hard to get to and less effective? I don't understand. I had water, straight water coming out of there. What do you think? Could it be bars leak or stop leak plugging things up inside the engine? I don't know. I ran the hose through the water pump side of the, well, I had the radiator out, but probably not enough. Usually once a thermostat opens, if it gets hot air, hot water behind it, the air won't open it, only hot water, coolant. And once it gets on that thermostat, pops that thing open, the temperature just goes boof, and it'll drop like 40 degrees or 30, depending. Oops, something happened. That's actually a good sign. That means we finally got a splash of water on the thermostat to make it open. I wonder if that thermostat could have been sticky. Now the air is getting warm, but still not hot. And of course the customer's waiting, so we're gonna play with this a little bit. I might have to go through the bleeding process again, I guess, and we'll see. I haven't had this much trouble with one in a while, but every once in a while you get a fun one, especially Friday stuff and customers waiting, and at the end of the day, it's generally when the fun ones come. I don't know what it is about this business, but things can go really smooth Monday, where the customer says, I'm not in a rush. But when the customer says, I'm gonna wait for it, usually that's when something might happen. It's getting a little warmer and calming down, so we might be all right. The hose is hot, that's a good sign. So now what I'm gonna do is shut it off, let it sit a few more minutes, and double check the coolant again. It's a process. Just another little splash of coolant. This thing's good. I'm gonna pull it around. Customer is anxiously waiting. And we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it a week. I'm gonna pull this around and we're gonna start closing up. Rob left early today. He's got family in town, so Katie's been running the front by herself. Doing a good job too. She hustles. So thanks for watching today's video. It was my pleasure having you, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll torque the like button, subscribe if you haven't yet. We're really close to 18,000 subscribers, so When I started this journey, I said, nah, no one's gonna watch it, but I'll have some fun. So now we're really building a community, so I appreciate the support. Let me know in the comments if you saw something silly I did. I don't have any problem with that. Just be respectful, that's all. I can take a joke, but I can't take a jackass. Thanks for watching. Torque the like button on your way out. I hope I see you in the next video, because you're awesome.